What is your most memorable non-combat moment in a campaign?
I had a character who wanted to change race because his character was in a romance with another player character who was a wood elf. He was a dragonborn. So obviously, he wanted a legacy. He couldn't necessarily get that. There's no real procreation between wood elves and dragonborn. Just biologically in my world, they don't work. So he ended up changing over to a half dragon from the Children of Dragons third party supplement. I mentioned it before. So he wanted to do a half dragon. So I'm like, all right, we can do that. Well, what it took was him dying. It was a whole ritual that was conducted by the Bosmer Wood Elves as he was receiving blessings from Bahamut for this whole thing to take place. So there's a whole process where he literally had to die. The whole thing took us a whole session to do, but he literally had to die, and at that point nothing could really like quote unquote save him, and he had to be buried. He had to have funeral rites performed, which was a variation between the cultures of Western Arcadia, Northwestern Arcadia, where he was from, and the Bosmer. And I told all the players, I'm like, what do you contribute to the funeral rites, blah, blah, blah. Honestly, it was probably one of the most emotional moments in the entire campaign. Not only his death, but his rebirth, and with all the players being involved, like adding weapons and things like that, and they put him on a boat, ship him out into a lake, and then fire arrows. But then for him to like be reborn and come walking back up on land in his new form, that was a really, really cool role play. It was a lot of really cool work by all of my players, and I just let them run with it, and they just really pulled out all the stops, and it was phenomenal. That is easily the best moment, non-combat, that I've ever seen from behind the screen. It was incredible.